obviously this rivalry runs deep within Michigan football and, within myself. And, I'm just really excited to go out there and play.
When you think about what happened before the game last year, how much does that kind of carry over? How much is that extra motivation for you guys to, beat them again?
Yeah, obviously some guys got a little emotional before the game, took it out on their turf. But, we moved on from last year. This is a new team, new people, and, we're just ready to play.
You haven't lost to them, but is there a point at which this rivalry became personal to you?
My whole life, this rivalry has been huge. I've been watching Michigan football my entire life, so I've always had that, I know what the game is. I know what the rivalry is like, and I'm just ready to go out there and play.
How is it different going into this game as a starter now?
Obviously, it's really different. Last year I came in as a backup, only got a couple of plays, but I'm expecting to do some big things in the game. I'm really excited, and I can't wait.
What have some of the older guys who've been here for 4 years told you about starting in a game like this?
No one's really told me anything. I think everyone understands that I know this rivalry, more than anyone, so I'm just ready to go out there and play.
Aidan, you've said that a couple times. You know this rivalry. What do you know about it? What did you know about beforehand? What do you know about now?
My dad played here. This is my second year here. I live 20 minutes from here. This rivalry is not. It's not just on Saturday. It's all year round with everyone from the state of Michigan.
Different feel than Ohio State, and in what sense?
Yeah, different feel. Just because, we're in Michigan. This state's divided between Michigan and Michigan State, so people got some different feelings coming into this game. But yeah, it is different from Ohio State.
Growing up in it, how much different was it watching it from afar as opposed to now actually living and breathing, being on the field?
Yeah, it's completely different. I think it intensifies the rivalry even more, just because you watch it, you kind of get the feel of the rivalry, but when you're actually in it, you're hitting them, you're talking a little bit. That's when things kind of intensify.
I know it's still a long shot, but do you guys pay attention to scenarios where you guys can still win the Big Ten?
We're not really looking at that. We've moved on from our losses. We're just going to play one game at a time because all we can do is control the controllables. If the Big Ten's out of reach, so what? We're just going to keep playing game by game.
Do you guys like having a bye week before, a stretch of 2 rivalry games in 3 weeks?
What was the question?
Do you guys like having the bye week, where it is?
Oh yeah. I always love that bye week. That week of rest. I wouldn't say rest, but that week of not a ton of competition. It definitely kind of resets your mental state, and I think we're even more ready for Michigan State now.
State has obviously struggled. Could they be even more dangerous because of what's happened to them recently?
We don't really care. Whatever's happened to them just happened. Regardless of what happened to them, we're gonna go out there and play our game.
Did you get a jump start with the bye week watching some film on Michigan State?
Yeah. I've been watching film this whole week, studying the O-line.
What do you take away from watching them and watching their O-line?
I saw the Illinois game. They were a little beat up, I think, from injuries. So I'm not really sure who I'm gonna be playing against, but I'm just gonna play no matter what. Play them to the best of my ability.
What's the struggle with Lewerke's shown that he can move, doesn't necessarily do it on a game by game basis, but what's the struggle in not over pursuing and making sure that you still are able to get to him and keep him from getting an open lane?
Yeah, I think this team, compared to last year, has done a great job with containing the quarterback. Last year you saw a lot of the quarterback breaking out and running for 30, 40 yards, and I think this year that was one of our main focuses. And I think that we have done a really good job with containing quarterbacks, not getting too far, and just keeping them in the pocket.
Time for a couple more for Aidan. What's Carlo been like this team this year?
Carlo's been, everything. He's one of the greatest leaders I've seen. One of the most selfless people you'll see. He's one of the greatest leaders I've ever seen. I'll keep it at that.
It's been a long time since you guys have won back-to-back, let alone winning one here in Ann Arbor. What would it mean to bring that and give the fans here on that home field that win.
Yeah, that'd be great. I know we haven't won at home in about the last 2 home games, but we're hoping for a different outcome this time.
Jim described D'Antonio as a master motivator, said you have to be on high alert for all the trick plays. Is Michigan State different in this sense? Do you spend more time focusing on the things that they could do, tricky?
I guess, we'll run it a couple times, but, I think, watching their games, they keep it pretty basic in what they do. A lot of split zone, bluff, a little bit of tight zone in regards to the run game. So, I mean, we see that every single day, so it's nothing new. And in regards to the trick plays, you just got to react and play to them.
With how good how much this defense has grown throughout the year, how are you and how happy are you of where you're at this point?
Yeah, I think we've grown with every game. Looking back at Mid-Tennessee State and then looking at a Maryland game, I think we're just playing much more sound as a defense. We're playing more together, and I think we're starting to develop a lot more trust with each other.
Kind of go back to your understanding of the rivalry, but was there any kind of surprise when you did get to go on the field and play against Michigan State as to, whether it be the physicality or any element of that?
I only got a couple plays that game, so I really didn't get the blunt of the rivalry, but I think I'm going to understand it a lot more this year.
Does Harbaugh's message change at all when playing a team like Michigan State? Does he kind of talk about the history of the rivalry?
Obviously, it's Michigan State, our biggest rival. Well, maybe our biggest rival. We just treat it as another game. There's no point in hyping the game up because then everyone just plays out of their head. So we just play it like we play every game.
Anything else for Aidan?
You know any guys on the other side?
Yeah, actually, one of my best friends was one of the quarterbacks there.
What's it been like this week talking to him?
He called me after the Illinois game. He was pretty frustrated, but the talking has definitely started between me and him.
Which quarterback?
Theo Day, yeah.
Will you tell me what he said or what you said to him?
I don't know if I can tell you what he said, but some words were said between us. He was talking a little bit about the game, but yeah, I'm just pumped to play him.
How much more physical is this game than, say, any other, and even Ohio State?
Yeah, obviously there's going to be a little bit of stuff after the whistle. I'm just expecting that just because of how this rivalry, has been in the past. So, I'm ready.
With growing up in it, what did your dad tell you about it? Maybe when you were younger or when you decided you were going to come here and be playing in the first one?
My dad, he didn't have to tell me much. You just got to look on the TV, when we played them on Saturday, and you can see what the rivalry is about.